everyone. I wanted to say welcome, and I'm so glad you're here. I am going to jump right into this and tell you all about how you can double your profits and eliminate competition with wholesale bundles. So I'm so glad that you're here, and we are going to talk about this, and we're going to jump right in. So, does anybody know what this number represents? Does anybody know? If you can put it in the chat, you can put it there. Let me know if you know what this number represents. 168. That is the number of hours that everyone gets in a week. Whether you are the president or you're Beyonce or you're LeBron James, you all get 168 hours a week. Just food for thought. We all have the same amount of hours in our week. So this is a little bit interactive here. You're cold. That's so funny. Okay, everyone grab your phones, your calculator, pen, paper. I want you to do a little exercise. This is going to be a little bit of interactive here for a second. So I'd love for you to put this in the chat, but you don't have to answer. Just grab your phone or a calculator, pen and paper really quick. Now, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and this is just something you have to write down. So if you had 20 extra hours in your week, what would you do with your free time? Just 20 extra hours. All of a sudden, you have 20 extra hours. Write down your answer. I'm participating. I've got my sticky note here. I'm going to write down what I'm going to participate in. And just save your answer. You don't have to share it if you don't want to. This is all private. But what would you do with 20 extra hours in your week? I'm writing mine down right now. Got my answer. Okay, we're moving on. Save your answer. Write it down somewhere. Think about it. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of a math problem, okay? I want you to take your true total hours worked. This means everything involved in your job from the time you commute, if you commute, or you start remotely in the morning, whatever it is you do, take all of your hours per week and divide it by your take-home pay. Again, this is private. You don't have to share anything about it. Thank you for sharing, Cheryl. It says sleep. You're going to sleep? Yes. I am definitely going to sleep more with 20 more hours of my week. Okay, now with that math problem, your total hours worked. So if you commute for an hour, if you do all these different things, what are your true total hours worked? And then divide that by your take-home pay. And let me just ask you this. This is kind of a hug and a slug question I always ask people because it's like tough love, but it's also like, I'm here for you. Is your time worth more than that number right now? I'm going to give you a little secret. It always is. It always is. Why? Because we have a limited number of hours, right? Remember 168? Remember, we have 168. So today I'm going to teach you a little something about something that money can't buy, right? I'm going to give you something that money can't buy. How about that 20 extra hours a week? How about it? Time. Can't buy time. Only 168 we get. That's it, right? That's it. That's all we get. 168 full hours. So as you're thinking, as you're going through this and listening to some of the stuff I have to say today, think about 168 and what 20 more hours a week would do for you, for your life, for your hobbies, for your lifestyle, for your family, for your job, for your business. So a few fun facts about me. I usually skip over this part really quickly because blah, 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 right? But I'm the host of the Amazon Files podcast. I am Kristin Ostrander, aka the Bundle Queen. I have created wholesale bundles as part of my signature of how I do business on Amazon. I am a certified black belt and I have 20 years of e-commerce experience online. Me and my students have generated over $20 million in wholesale bundle revenue. Woo! That's a lot to say. And my superpower is helping people just like you to start and grow legitimate businesses on Amazon. I am stoked to be here with you guys today. This is a little bit about my journey. Started with eBay way back in 2003. I've done retail arbitrage, used books, thrifting, wholesale, private label bundles. I've got a trademark brand registry on Amazon, first custom private label product in 2020. I know, what a year to launch a bundle, huh? But I just want to let you know that I do have a little bit of street creds here, 20 years, and I would love to teach you guys about how I have made my millions on Amazon and how you can do the same. But before we get there, I want to clear up some really important things for you. Before we get started, there's just a few things you need to know. You do not need all of these complicated bells and whistles to make a living reselling on Amazon. Do you need complicated advertising or a website or investing tens of thousands of dollars up front? You don't have to live in the US. You don't have to have employees, although I do highly recommend it so that you can free up more of your time. And we'll talk about that. But you don't have to have all these things. You don't need to build a funnel. You don't need social media influencers. You literally can do this remotely from anywhere that you choose. You don't need all these things. So if someone's telling that you are just to sell on Amazon, it's not true. Here's what you're not going to see here. You're not going to see some fancy Ferraris and, this big fancy mansion and a bunch of real unrealistic fake numbers. You're just going to see me and my students and real people with real results. None of that stuff. We're just real people living our lives here, trying to make a living remotely on Amazon, doing what we love. Real people with real results. This is Michelle. She's been a client for some time now. Her goal was to build a business so that she could employ people with special needs. And after doing this for a time, she used to have 2 partners and doing retail arbitrage for 60 plus hours a week. And now she's at 30 hours a week solo. She has a prep center and she's making a healthy 6 figures in her bank account, ready to employ a few more people. Now, the strategies I'm teaching today have generated over $20 million in wholesale bundle revenue. So that doesn't even count any of the other revenue. Just wholesale bundles alone are bringing results for my students and I. What about me? I've found a better way. I've done all of the things, and I actually enjoyed all of the things that I was doing, but this was the one that was most profitable for me with wholesale bundles. $85,000 a month in revenue, about 27% average of my ROI, my take-home pay. So that's that. How many hours are you really working? How many hours, how much money are you really making? People are always asking this question because it's like, oh, people can show $1 million on Amazon, but what if you're only making $10? This is just my real reality here. In 20 hours a week or less, I create profitable bundles that generate over profits. Remember, profits, not just revenues, profits. $275,000 a year. Is that something that sounds appealing? I want you to work less and work and make more money. That's really why we're sitting here today. We want to be efficient. We want to be concise. We want to live real life, right? Life isn't business. Business is fun. Business is a means to an end. It gives us finances so that we can have options for our real life. I want you to have the same. But it wasn't always this way. I did not start out 20 years ago with millions in profits from Amazon. No, it wasn't always this way. In 2010, my husband was injured from work. We were denied workers' compensation, almost zero income. And we lost our home to foreclosure. But there's actually more. While I was building my business, I had a shady embezzler. I had a partner that embezzled all of my money. We started over in 2014 with $1,100, y'all. Yes, we took on a partner. We learned our lesson. It was awful. We started over in 2014, $1,100. So from foreclosure to 7 figures, it is possible. It's possible even from that. And I got to tell you, if I can do this, anybody can do this. I just a few things I didn't tell you about this. So if you're naysaying, like, oh, that's great for you. You've got a lot of business experience. I didn't in the beginning. I've never actually been to a real job interview. I dropped out of the first year in college, mainly because I couldn't pick a major because there was nothing for me because I'm actually an entrepreneur and didn't know that at the time. I had no prior business experience. And I started at 22 years old as a stay-at-home mom with $100 in my pocket. So are you guys ready to learn about wholesale bundles? Are you ready to learn about it? Because this is what you need to get started. And if you're already started, if you're already an Amazon seller, then you already know what you need. You need some custom packaging. You need to invest a little bit of capital. $300 or less, honestly, you can start this. Time and proper training. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what I used to do. And some of this is going to resonate with a lot of you. If you've sold on Amazon at all, some of these business models you've heard. What I used to do is retail arbitrage. And let me just full disclaimer here. I loved retail arbitrage. I did. I loved retail arbitrage. I liked going from store to store and picking out my inventory. It was like a treasure hunt. However, when I got really, really good at it, it took over my life. I dreamed of all these cartloads of profitable products, and that happened for a time. You go to Target, you go to Walmart, you get these discount stores, you make money, right? The problem is you're running from store to store to store to gather your inventory, and it's not scalable. Ask me how I know. After 60 to 80 hours of retail arbitrage and 500 other people selling the same thing and tanking my price, I realized I had no freedom and no life. Sure, I was making some money, but how could I spend that money when I was constantly out shopping for more inventory? Here's an example of this retail arbitrage, right? So you see that, oh my gosh, my camera is kind of covering this, so you can't really see the bottom. I don't even know if I can move that. Anyway, it shows at the bottom there that, yeah, thank you. Okay, so it's a negative 8 cents profit, right? You can go to retail arbitrage, you can buy this product here, and it's a negative 8. This one, sorry, wrong slide. Okay, so first you can buy this at retail arbitrage, right? It's $8.45. You can buy it probably at any grocery store and you're making $1, right? It probably sells pretty quickly. That's great until 500 of your closest friends find the same Taco Bell sauce. They sell it at retail arbitrage and they drop their price by $1. You're now making negative 8 cents. Y'all, this is a lot of work for someone to tank your price, right? So let's try wholesale, right? This has got to be, the bee's knees, right? This is wholesale. Wholesale's got to be where it's at, right? So your dream is unlimited supply of all these different things. You can buy as many cases you want with amazing margins, with millions of products to choose from. Fast, easy money. As soon as someone says that, you better hit the brakes and go, huh? Too good to be true? Let's just be real. The reality is unexpectedly slim margins after fees, competing with vendors themselves, manufacturers, Amazon's direct competition, and people with deeper pockets get the best discounts. I mean, honestly, have you ever looked at something on Amazon as a seller and you're like, I know for sure they're losing money on that, probably at least $2 or $3 a sale? Here's a wonderful example. This is Coco Melon. If you don't have any children, if you don't know about that, this is just a really popular little preschool TV show, right? And this is selling for $24.99 on Amazon. And I looked into the wholesale price, which was $16 for this at a minimum of $5,000 minimum order, right? Ooh, pretty deep pockets. Negative $2.89. Oh, soul crushing, right? So now what? If we can't compete on wholesale with Amazon, with other things. Oh, private label, right? Who has heard here that private label is the holy grail of selling on Amazon, right? Get your own brand, import from overseas, create all these different things, and you will make millions of dollars, right? No competition, make the millions. They say it's simple. Do some research, buy on Alibaba, ship to Amazon, use PPC, millions of dollars, right? We're all retiring and going to the islands. Let me just tell you the reality, my reality, and the reality of many, many of my clients who have come and told this same story. The average private label product takes approximately 12 months to bring to the market. With minimum order quantities, sea freight, launching, PPC, it costs about 15 grand on average to bring your private label product to the table. Just let me ask you this. Can you tie up $15,000 for a year before you start making money? If you can, let's talk. I need a loan, right? Okay. So does this sound familiar? Anybody? Does anybody sound familiar? Any of this stuff? Done arbitrage, done wholesale, done private label? Me too. All of the above. The biggest problem is this. Competition is high on single unit items, no matter where you source them. Small or non-existent margins. We're fighting on volume. We are Walmart, right? We are selling millions of products for like 10 cents each just to get by. I don't know about you, but that sounds really exhausting. So now what do we do? What are we supposed to do if all of these business models can make money? And yes, they do make money and they can make money over time. But what do we do now? Wholesale bundles. That's what I did. What are wholesale bundles? I just can't wait to tell you. I cannot wait to tell you. If you are new and you have never heard what wholesale bundles are, this is my favorite part. Bundles are highly complementary products purchased from wholesale suppliers, sold together in a way that provide value to the buyer. Don't miss that part. Value for your customer by meeting a need or solving a problem that they have, right? That's all about what sales are. You're selling something to someone, you're meeting a need or solving a problem for them. Here is a perfect example of a wholesale bundle. This is not just a guitar for beginners, right? Beginners have a problem. This is a problem this bundle solves right here. It's a beginner, it's a beginner set, a guitar set, right? It doesn't just come with a guitar. What do other people need when they're starting out playing guitar? Well, they think you need a guitar, a mini amp, some chords, some picks, and a strap. Great. And even a tuner, right? So instead of just selling one guitar and buying all the things separately, they put it all together in one click. Love it. How about a Nintendo Switch? Anybody got little kids? You can tell I have little kids. A Nintendo Switch. This is an accessory pack. So yes, you could sell a screen protector, you could sell a case, you could sell all of it, but why not sell all of it together and make more money on one thing? Highly complementary items that solve a problem or meet a need for a customer, right? That's what these are. Wholesale bundles are like putting together a kit, a pack, a set. And remember, it's for the customer. This is not just an advantage to a seller, although we reap the benefits with our profits. It must contain something that's actually special. So, what I used to call wholesale bundles is poor man's private label. I would say I can't afford to go all the way to China or all the way overseas or import things and tie up thousands and thousands of dollars. So, I made private label products out of wholesale products already there. That's what a wholesale bundle is. So let's talk about that wholesale example, right? We think wholesale was so awesome with the negative margin. So let's take a look at that. Remember Cocoa Melon here, negative $2.89. No one wants to lose money. So how on earth are we going to try to make money doing this? Well, highly complementary items. You add a value added item. So this is the little character doll that comes with Cocoa Melon, little JJ plush, and adding that to the doctor kit now increases the price and increases your margin. Now, instead of going to negative $2.89 by pairing highly complementary items together that customers want anyway, now we're making $12.36. Can I get an amen from the people in the back? Who wants to make $12 instead of losing 3? I certainly do. So how can bundles eliminate your competition? I'm so glad you asked that. I'm so glad you asked. Bundles have all of the benefits of private label without the cost and risk and time. You own the buy box 100% of the time with no direct competition, no listing hijackers, no one saying, oh, that's a great idea, let me jump on it. They prevent price tanking and hijacking. They protect your listing with branding and brand registry and organic search results with no PPC. No PPC. This is just something, real results from real people, y'all. No fancy Ferraris, just Laura over here telling me that she added A+ content in a video, no PPC. She'll be selling out of her bundle. This means you have all the benefits of your private label idea, except for less time and less money to get started. Why? So you can receive results faster. Y'all, I don't have a year to tie up 15,000, right? But I got a couple months to tie up a couple hundred. Do you? This is real success with the clients. Sold their first bundle, 2.5 weeks, no PPC, y'all. Can someone just tell me in the chat if they've spent thousands of dollars on PPC? I have. To no avail, right? Wholesale bundles. So how do you put a bundle together? How do you put a bundle together? Who, what, when, where, why, and how. That's really what you have to think about. Think about your customer first and the data second. Now, I know that this kind of goes against the grain, right? Retail arbitragers, any of you guys in the chat here, retail arbitragers, you're scanning, you're constantly looking at data. You're probably not thinking about your customer when you're scanning to see, is this profitable or is it not? How many sellers are selling it? What's the sales rank, right? You're not thinking about the customer, you're thinking about your bottom line, which is fine. I'm thinking about my bottom line as well. But with wholesale bundles, we have to first think about what the customer needs. Then we have to research. That is the key to getting the customers what they need. Having a process is super, super important. And then, of course, repeatable, continual steps. This is what we use to do wholesale bundles, right? We have continual, repeatable steps. Step 1 all the way to step 12 helps you find the right products, find the right customer to serve, put those products together, look at the competition, explore and validate your bundle, and then invest in it. Step by step, repeatable process to research your products. And then how do you eliminate competition? Remember, we talked right in the beginning. This is how to eliminate competition on Amazon. This is what you do. You do a wholesale bundle and you bring an item that brings value to your bundle. Mixing vendors is one way to bring added value. If you have multiple vendors you can purchase from, you can mix items from different vendors, and your competition will be so confused and wondering what you're doing. They'll have no idea where you're getting your products. You know why? Because of your competition. I'm going to let you a little secret. Your competition, and I'm leaning in here because I need you to know this, your competition is lazy. So anything that you can do just even slightly better than them, you have that much of an edge. How about exclusive agreements with vendors? To the fact that they will only let you sell in a bundle. We have lots of clients who have said that they have relationships with vendors that say, yes, you can sell our products in your bundles. We love your concept. Absolutely. Private label or custom packaging. This is also a way. If you have a private label product already, you can bundle it with other complementary items and have another new product to sell. Now, you found a bundle idea. So now what? This is how we set ourselves apart, right? There's a few different ways that we do this. We can either add custom packaging, like you'll see the one on the left. It's the Hangry Kit. They're selling a snack pack, a care package of snacks, y'all. I love Hangry Kits. Like, if you like me, I'll give you my address. Send me all the snacks, right? I'm a snacker. So I love this Hangry Kit because they're taking wholesale items already, snacks, and branded it into an amazing brand, a Hangry Kit. The only thing that makes up this brand is their box and their logo. Everything else, they're not making Cheez-Its and Chex Mix and, M&Ms that they're putting in there. They're making a brand. So that's all they had to do, and then put all the stuff in there. How about the one in the middle? A mixology drink that you could buy that from any wholesaler that you can find that sells barware. This is not revolutionary, but what's revolutionary and what sets them apart is they've added recipe cards, special bar drinks and cocktails that other people don't have. How about on the other side where you have this clean eating granola bars here, and they put a little snack bag with it so you can care. That's not my favorite one, but it also works for wholesale bundles. I just want to show the different options here. So why are wholesale bundles better than all the rest? Well, I'm a little biased, and I know, but bundles are better because they eliminate that competition. You are not fighting for your spot on Amazon with 500 other people trying to tank your price on the same item. You own the buy box. You can start with $300 or yes, y'all. And guess what? Don't leave before the end of this. I have a very free gift for you right at the end of this presentation. I am going to give you an Amazon friendly wholesale vendor list that's $300 or less to start. Yes, you're welcome. You're going to get that right here at the end. Absolutely free, because I want you to start right now. You don't have to import. You don't need to buy large quantities, and you're protected against listing hijackers. I mean, what could be better than this? This is how wholesale bundles changed my business. Going short, I was doing retail arbitrage, then a tiny bit of wholesale, and then all of a sudden we got into wholesale bundles. And wholesale bundles has allowed me to go over that 7-figure mark and stay there. And this is just a small, tiny business, y'all. I don't have a huge warehouse. I use a prep center. We have a couple team members. We are working remotely. The wholesale bundles are for you. If you are tired of all of this competition and you want profit margins to go up, if you want to reduce that time, remember the time we talked about? 168 hours, y'all. You want to reduce the time it takes to produce. Now, this is what wholesale bundles is. It comes with a proven step-by-step framework. It helps you with developing your bundle ideas, cultivating those relationships with suppliers, and most of those relationships are online. So don't worry, for my introverted folks who don't want to make phone calls and and send a bunch of emails. Emails are your friend, right? For my introverts. Product photography, bundle image creation, everything that you possibly need to do bundles. Now, this is how it changed my business. I'm working on my business now 2 days a week. 2 days. Faster and easier product research with a proven step-by-step framework. You go through the framework, step 1, step 2, step 3. You can come back tomorrow and do the other steps. Hands-off inventory. I don't touch my inventory. I sell profitable products every single day on Amazon, and I never touch any of them. I don't drop ship. They go to a prep facility where they ship them off to the Amazon warehouses for me. And when the customer buys them Prime, the customers are happy, and we all work remotely. And I absolutely love that part of my job. These are just some awesome testimonials from some other clients that are so excited to do wholesale bundles. They've created their first bundles. They've did everything on their own. They got it started. They're doing their research. There's so many students that are doing wholesale bundles after they've come from private label, after they've come from wholesale, after they've come from retail arbitrage and realize nothing is working. What is next? Now tell me, no matter where you're from or what you have done before, whether it was foreclosure like my story, or maybe you've built yourself a retail arbitrage. I call it a retail arbitrage prison. I know that that's not really a kind word, but honestly, that's what I was in before I transitioned into wholesale and then into wholesale bundles. I was in a 60-hour-a-week retail arbitrage prison. No matter what the weather was, I was out there finding inventory, replenishing inventory, going from store to store, bringing it in, then taking it back out, then boxing it. Can I get anybody that knows about that, right? I loved it. It was profitable, but it also wasn't conducive to the lifestyle I wanted to live. I did not, as a business owner, want to work 60 hours a week. I didn't. And so I had to figure out how to get out of that. And this was my answer. So the roadmap to your 7 figures, to your first million, if you're not already there, wholesale bundle systems, your consistent efforts. Remember, y'all, you have to do the work. You have to do the work. But my support, and then never giving up. If you've sold on Amazon for even 10 minutes, it's not easy, but it's worth it, right? It's worth it. Hired their first employee, hit 15,000 in sales in the month of March. These are just real people, you guys, real people in our group. They're talking about all of their love, all of what they're doing with wholesale bundles and how they're profiting. Now, what would be different in your life if you could order products from anywhere in the world, have them shipped to a prep center where they receive, prep, and ship your products, and you never have to touch it? What would change? If you're touching all of your inventory right now, tell me one thing that would change in your life. Anything. I know what changed in my life. I got my spare room back. I got my garage back. I was able to breathe in my own space because I wasn't dealing with box tape and all of those things every single day. No more cardboard. No more cardboard. At one time, my friends and family thought that cardboard was boxes for Amazon was my decor. That was like, oh, you're going with the Amazon look, huh? Honest to goodness, you guys, my house was full of Amazon boxes and prep facility. It looked like a prep facility around here. So what else would change in your life? You were generating 6, or dare I say, I know, is she going to say that word again? That $1 million, 7 figures, but working a couple days a week from anywhere you choose. It sounds like a dream. It sounds too good to be true, but it's not. It's actually my life and the life of a lot of my clients who have chosen to change the business model so that they could change their lifestyle. They didn't want to be pounding the pavement every 60 hours a week. So it's not about imagining anymore. You can have both. Dare I say that you can have more time and more money and you don't have to imagine? This is how you can have it do it today. So how much of 20 hours is your time worth? How much is 20 hours of your time worth? Remember that piece of paper we wrote down earlier? What would you do with 20 extra hours a week in your week? 20 extra hours. I know someone said they would sleep. Other people say they would work more. Other people say that they would spend more time with friends and family or on hobbies or just relax. So read your answer. I'm going to read you my answer because I always have answers. I love my 20 extra hours where I could do many things. Right now, I'm actually taking classes, extra classes that this program that I was into, and that's what I'm doing with some of my extra hours. I love what I'm learning in the Goldman Sachs program, and that's what I get to do because I don't have to work 24/7 on my business. I get to further my own education and meet amazing people. Also, I'm a jewelry artist. I actually collect, buy, sell, trade, and resell vintage costume jewelry and even modern costume jewelry, and I make art projects out of the broken pieces. And so that's what I'm doing more of my time lately. And don't ask to see any of those. My art is private. I know someone's like, let's see your jewelry art. I'm like, no, I'm not an artist. It's just like it's just something, it's my outlet. But that's what I love to do with my extra hours. I love that. So this is the wholesale bundle system. It's everything that you could possibly want or need in A to Z. Actually, if you've never even sold one thing on Amazon, you don't even have an open Amazon account, we've got you covered there too. From A to Z, you will learn everything from brand registry, hands-off inventory, learning how to order products, finding vendors, signing up with vendors, legitimate vendors, not middlemen, even down to the photography and the digital image creation for your bundles. There is no stone left unturned in this program. And that is actually all I have for you. I know I'm close to the time, but this right here is your free bonus. Thank you so much for spending this 30 minutes with me. I'm giving you mommyincome.com/vendors. This is your free Amazon friendly wholesaler supplier list. So even if you don't decide to do bundles, you can order some wholesale products from these companies. They're open to Amazon sellers. They're very friendly. They have low minimum order quantities. So y'all have no excuses in getting started, at least with some of these vendors. So please go to mommyincome.com/vendors. And I am going to be answering all of your questions in my vendor booth. They have a vendor booth here set up in this inventory lab here. So I am so excited to meet you guys over there. And I have more to offer you as well. If you are interested in the wholesale bundle system, mommyincome.com/system. You can learn a lot more about what I just talked about there. Of course, in 30 minutes, I can't give you guys everything. So meet me over at the booth. I would love to answer all of your questions there. And I really, really appreciate you guys hanging out with me for 30 minutes. I know you could be anywhere else doing any other thing, and I don't take that for granted. So thank you for your time today.